From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Millicent Walker.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, the president wades into the political crisis in Rivers State, also seeks reform agenda to reposition the police, as Kayode Egbetokun is confirmed as substantive Inspector General of Police. PDP Governors Forum urges parties in the political crisis in Rivers State to resolve their differences peacefully, commends the president for his quick intervention in the matter. Court of Appeal reverses the sack of the APC candidate Simi Silva in the November 11th governorship election in Bayelsa State, says the judgment of the Federal High Court was based on the wrong premise.
On business news tonight, Nigeria's central bank denies reports suggesting it plans to restructure and redenominate the currency from January next year.
On sports news tonight, Nigeria's Super Falcons beat Ethiopia 5-1 on aggregate to set up a final round clash against the indomitable Lioness of Cameroon in the 2024 Olympic Games qualifier.
And from Abuja, candidates and their supporters step up efforts to woo more voters ahead of the November 11th governorship elections in Kogi State, less than 2 weeks to the off-cycle poll.
And in international news from London, Israel says fierce fighting is taking place within Gaza as its ground offensive in the area continues.
It's now official. Mr. Kayode Egbetokun is the substantive Inspector General of Police following his confirmation today by the Nigeria Police Council. This was made known to journalists after a meeting of the council presided over by the president at the presidential villa, who demanded a reform agenda to reposition the force. Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, who briefed State House correspondents, added that the President Bola Tinubu also intervened in the political and security situation unfolding in Rivers State. Our State House correspondent, Lanre Lasisi, reports.
A red carpet reception for the latest diplomats sent to Nigeria as they arrived the presidential villa to present their letters of credence.
Republic of Angola to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
One after the other, President Bola Tinubu receives their letters. They include diplomats from Angola, Norway, Belgium, and Venezuela. The president then moved to the council chamber to chair the Nigerian Police Council meeting, which had state governors, the chairman of the Police Service Commission, and other government officials in attendance. Following the closed-door meeting, correspondents were briefed on the outcome of the first Police Council meeting of this administration, including the political crisis in Rivers State.
I want to use the opportunity first to congratulate the IG, but more importantly to express great appreciation to the President and members of the Council for confirming the IG.
Apart from the confirmation, we also talk, the President is also desirous of security sector reforms. We believe that there is need for us to sit down together, critical stakeholders, and take a look again at our internal security management. What are the issues? What are the timelines? What are the implementation strategy that we need to get these ones done? So those were part of the issues that we deliberated upon.
We had a closed session, if you recall, members of the press, where a very serious national issue was discussed that has security implication. That is the problem emerging in Rivers. The president, in his usual leadership position, intervened, and then it would appear there will be peace in that respect. And so in that token, the governors of the PDP, on their behalf, I spoke and extolled the leadership quality of the president, congratulated him on behalf of the president, and expressing appreciation that all the PDP governors who had gone through the tribunal have emerged victorious. We know that is leadership.
Other issues considered include the issue of funding and the need for meaningful reform of the police force to enhance professionalism. From the presidential villa, Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party PDP Governors Forum is asking all parties involved in the political crisis in Rivers State to sheathe their swords and resolve their differences peacefully within the party. The PDP governors, who reached the decision at an emergency meeting in Abuja, also commended the president for his quick intervention in the matter. The governors also reacted to the recent Supreme Court judgment on the party's presidential candidate's petition, maintaining that the judgment brings an end to the litigation. They, however, raised concerns about developments in Plateau State and urged the judiciary to stick to laid down precedents on pre-election matters. Well, staying with the Rivers Assembly crisis, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Mr. Nyesom Wike, has also been reacting to the matter, saying his party has taken over the matter and will resolve all issues involved. Mr. Wike stated this during a meeting with a delegation of South-South leaders who came to express their solidarity and congratulate him on his appointment as the first FCT minister from the Niger Delta region.
It is not only when something favors us, we are right. When it does not favor us, we are wrong. No. In politics, there are a lot of internal wranglings. That does not mean that in that internal wranglings, they will not settle within their family. But to come out to say, oh, they want to do this against you, that's very wrong. I was instrument. I had every power then to say where this thing is going to. Yes, it's not correct. So when things are wrong, you ask questions. It's a party affair. Party knows how they resolve their own mechanism. It's not an ethnic affair. Our party is looking to it. That's what I will say. But let us not be saying that this and that. Oh, every politician has his own interest.
As lawmakers of the Rivers State House of Assembly continue to bicker over who the authentic Speaker of the House is, some residents of the state have voiced their displeasure over the crisis rocking the House. The resident who spoke to Channels Television in Port Harcourt condemned the rancor, calling it an unnecessary distraction for the lawmakers.
It's not the best of times for lawmakers of the Rivers State House of Assembly, as the House is currently divided against itself, with two of the members jostling for headship of the Assembly. Here, one of the groups of lawmakers believed to be loyal to the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, is holding a press briefing to address what it calls the misinformation regarding the position of the Speaker of the House of Assembly.
Dear Rivers people, our attention has been drawn to some media reports alleging a change in the leadership of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Ordinarily, we would have ignored this report in order not to dignify an impostor, but would go ahead to properly inform the general public. We therefore advise all those concocting unwarranted stories to be mindful of the consequences.
In another part of Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, some residents have been reacting to the crisis at the House of Assembly, as well as the move to impeach Governor Siminalayi Fubara. For the former spokesman of Pandev, Anabs Seraigbe, the action is nothing but an attempt to ridicule the governor. He therefore wants the lawmakers to explain to Rivers people the motivation for their action.
The Constitution is very clear on what ground you remove a governor. So what has he committed? We don't hear any crime. They would have said he has done this, he embezzled this, he did this, or he did that. What was his crime?
Other residents described the crisis as a third-term agenda by the former governor of the state, Mr. Nyesom Wike, and asked him to allow the governor run his administration.
We are not surprised at the turn of events because the APC in Rivers has clearly stated that this was purely a third-term agenda. We are not surprised at all. It is only about the timing that we're being surprised about.
Wike should allow the Rivers people to breathe fresh air and concentrate on the FCT position he's holding. Right now, as we speak today, I have dislocation because my leadership, under my leadership, the South Youth Initiative, we decided today to pay our support to this, the governor of Rivers State, Sumaya Fubara. We don't work with him, but we are not happy about the situation.
Meanwhile, normalcy has returned to the House of Assembly complex, but it's not certain when the lawmakers will again sit in the House.
Meanwhile, the president of the River State chapter of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Chijioke Ihunwo, has been arrested alongside other youths by operatives of the River State Police Command. According to social media videos cited by our correspondent, Mr. Ihunwo was seen addressing a crowd of youths in front of the official residence of the Speaker of the River State House of Assembly. In a swift reaction, operatives of the old GRA police reportedly arrested the protesting youths and held them at their facility, which is next door to the Speaker's residence. The command's PRO confirmed the arrest, explaining that the youths went to attack the Speaker in his house and attempted to pull down the gate. To legal matters, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has reversed the nullification of the candidacy of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Mr. Timipre Silva. Justice Binta Zubeiru, who delivered the lead judgment, held that Justice Donatus Okorowo of the Federal High Court was wrong in ordering the sack of Mr. Silva as a candidate of the APC in the November 11th governorship election in Bayelsa State. It further held that the trial court erred to have assumed jurisdiction in the matter on grounds that the plaintiff at the Federal High Court lacked the necessary locus standi to initiate the suit in the first place, having not participated in the primary election that produced the APC candidate as flag bearer of the APC in the forthcoming election. Justice Zubeiru also awarded a cost of 1 million naira in favor of Mr. Silva. However, Mr. Silva, who was on our political program, Politics Today, has been speaking on the outcome of the legal battle.
I was confused because, the judiciary had said before, concerning me personally, I went to court challenging Governor Dixon at that time, challenging the primaries of Governor Dixon at that time. And the Supreme Court held that I did not have locus because I did not participate in that primary. That is a classical case now that is being quoted in the judiciary today. For me to go, and then for somebody who did not participate in an election, to just somebody I hardly know even as a member of the party, to now come and then challenge my primaries, and for a court also to now hold that it was in order. It was a little bit confusing because I didn't think that a judge will do that. Because it's the same judiciary. If the Supreme Court already said that before, concerning me personally, and then a judge was saying something different, it was a little bit confusing. That's what confused me.
In part two, after the break, APC women leaders drum support for the re-election bid of Governor Hope Uzodinma at a rally in Owerri, the Imo State capital. That's in a moment. Please stay with us. Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, coming to you live from Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. The president wades into the political crisis in Rivers State, also seeks reform agenda to reposition the police, as Kayode Egbetokun is confirmed as substantive Inspector General of Police. PDP Governors Forum urges parties in the political crisis in River State to resolve their differences peacefully, commends the President for his quick intervention in the matter. Court of Appeal reverses sack of APC candidates Timi Prae Silva in the November 11th governorship election in Bayelsa State, says judgment of the Federal High Court was based on the wrong premise. And Israel says fierce fighting is taking place within Gaza as its ground offensive in the area continues. Continuing with legal matters, the Court of Appeal Abuja has upheld the judgment of the Kogi State Senatorial Tribunal, which September the 6th sacked the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Mr. Abubakar Sadiku Ohire, as winner of the Kogi State Central Senatorial election. A three-man panel of the Appellate Court affirmed the judgment of the tribunal shortly after it dismissed Sadiku Ohire's appeal for lacking in merit and upheld the election of Mrs. Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan of the People's Democratic Party as winner of the poll. According to the Court of Appeal, Mr. Sadiku Ohire failed to provide convincing evidence why the judgments of the tribunal should be set aside. Mrs. Akpoti-Uduaghan hailed the judgment, saying the journey has been tough. She spoke on our political program earlier today.
Allegation of something the governor wanted to kill.
I mean, everybody in Nigeria.
Evidence to that.
I had guns. I had his henchmen shoot at my vehicle. I have video evidence of that.
Oh, and you are sure?
I'm telling you, it was the immediate past. They were adorned in APC shirts. And one of them was Amoka. He was actually the returning officer for OK local government. He led a group of 10 men to shoot at me. I have the videos capturing that.
Why is it so?
Apart from that, the governor actually cut roads.
Yeah.
John, please let me speak.
Go ahead, please.
The governor, a day to elections, he dug gullies, cutting 5 roads. That was just to prevent elections from taking place. I'm probably endangering my life. There was a day to elections. Thank God we have the payloader, and I went all night. We had to cover the gullies so the election can take place. A lot went on that we couldn't even put before the media because it was more like I didn't want to seem as if I was every day crying for help. I wanted to show strength. I didn't want people to or discourage other women like me from entering politics and thinking, oh, it's too violent, it's too volatile. I had to show strength. That is why I did not tell every part of this story, everything I went through. It was so much more than the world knows. But that being said, I thank God today, and I really praise the judiciary for having the courage to stand forth through the events that took place and going through the documents diligently and affirming me as the winner.
Still talking politics, more reactions continue to trail the recent press conference addressed by the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Atiku Abubakar. The latest is coming from former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mr. Joseph Daudu, who says the former vice president lost on all fronts up to the Supreme Court, which remains infallible. The senior advocate of Nigeria was speaking exclusively to Channels Television in Abuja.
In every case, in every litigation, there must be a winner and there must be a loser. On this occasion, he had lost at the polls, he had lost at the presidential election court, he's also lost at the Supreme Court. Those 3 sets of interveners cannot be altogether wrong or cannot be wrong at all. It follows that even in defeat, one should be gracious. I cannot find one single point where the Supreme Court went wrong. Therefore, I just think that people should be gracious in defeat. This is not the time to sit down and analyze each point, one after the other. But when you look at the judgment, I only think it is Alhaji Abubakar Atiku that has lost trust or confidence in the judiciary. The judiciary still gives judgments. There may be one or two things wrong in the judiciary, but the judiciary cannot be faulted on this occasion on the quality of the judgment it delivered and within the time frame that it delivered it.
Ahead of the November 11th governorship election in Imo State, wife of the president, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, has called on all women in the state to vote massively for the re-election of Governor Hope Uzodinma. Mrs. Tinubu, who led a large number of women in a campaign rally at the Ndubisi Kanu Square in Owerri, the state capital, says the governor remains the best choice for Imo people, given his sterling performance in the last 3.5 years.
Women from the 27 local government areas of Imo State, clad in colorful attires, they're here to show support for the re-election bid of Governor Hope Uzodinma. The wife of the president, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, arrives at the rally ground in company of the wife of the Imo State governor, wife of the Senate president, wives of governors of Ebonyi, Sokoto, Lagos, and Cross River states, as well as female ministers and the national women leader of the All Progressives Congress. One after the other, the women address the crowd and solicit votes.
There's nothing else to say. I know for a fact that Governor Hope Uzodinma is coming back. There's no other contestant. He will win resoundingly. Thank you all, and God bless you for the support you've shown to Governor Uzodinma and his wife. Thank you all.
Our governor's return mission is chiefly a sojourn to consolidate on the solid foundation he has already laid in his first term, which we all have seen, and as such deserves all the support he can get from us. Lady Chinyere Ihomai Komaru is a refined disciplinarian, a teacher and leader that has distinguished herself in service to our dear state and country, and today stands a very bright chance to be our deputy governor. This is part of the reason you should make this project your personal project and ensure you rally support and vote for the All Progressives Congress in the upcoming governorship elections.
For the wife of the president, Governor Hope Uzodinma remains the best choice for the people.
I want all of you to go on and vote en masse. You see, you have a listening governor who loves women. You women said you want a female deputy governor, and he has given you. I want to thank the outgoing deputy governor and his wife for being so matured about this.
Governor Uzodinma thanks the women for their support and promises to meet the expectations of the people.
I have observed with interest the commitment and love that the first family of Nigeria has shown to Imo State since they emerged as the president and leader of our great party. One thing I must assure them is that we are not going to take this love for granted. We are going to be by them. We are going to be with them. We are going to work with them. And we are going to continually associate with them in all our politicking.
It's less than 2 weeks to the Imo State governorship elections, and the APC says it is confident that the party will retain the governorship seat for the next 4 years.
Let's now head to Abuja for more stories. Victor, it's over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Millicent, and welcome to Abuja. But still staying with politics, however, we switch gears to Kogi State, where the All Progressives Congress has inaugurated an independent campaign council for its governorship candidate, Usman Ododo. Now, the zonal organizing secretary, North Central of the APC, Mr. Ishaq Musa, who was speaking in Lokoja while inaugurating the Ododo Joel Independent Campaign Council, explains that the leadership of the party and the president are solidly behind its candidate.
It's a gathering of former state and national assembly members, stakeholders, women and youths in Lokoja to witness the inauguration of the Ododo Joel Independence Campaign Council. Without wasting time, the zonal organizing secretary, North Central of the party, proceeds to inaugurate the campaign council with a message to the people to defend their votes and eschew violence.
APC have a lot to offer. APC will continue to bring dividends on democracy to all of them. And as such, on 11th November, that you should vote for APC for continuous dividends of democracy to our team in Nigeria.
The APC leadership used the occasion to solicit the votes of the residents for the party's candidates.
Come January, we are going to celebrate. We shall all gather again to celebrate. And I'm still pleading on our women. Please, let's put our heads together and see we do the needful. He's somebody that never forgets any good thing being done to him. He know you all, he know our pain, and he will do it.
We discovered that those 80%, only 10% were in Kogi State. And for one reason or the other, refused to come out to vote. The remaining 60 to 70%, they were people in Kaduna, they were people in Kanu, there were people in Omolonge, Arabeka. We now went to them because they are holding Kogi PVC.
The representative of the chairman of the campaign council highlights the essence of the gathering and the qualities of the party's candidates.
Accordingly, we have decided to call this meeting today to charge you for the work and victory ahead. We all have one task. And what is that task? To vote Alhaji Usman Ahmed Ododo. With your support, bring about a greater Kogi State, building on the gains, achievement, and foundation of our leader, Alhaji Yahaya Adoza Bello.
The race to Lord Lugard House in Kogi State is heating up, and the All Progressives Congress says it's leaving no stone unturned in order to retain power in the states.
Still to come on the news at 10, the Central Bank of Nigeria denies reports suggesting it plans to restructure and redenominate the country's currency by January 2024. That's some business news. Do join us again. Many thanks for staying with us on the news at 10. Now, the African Democratic Congress in Kogi State is asking the electorate in Mopa Moru local government area to vote for the party in order to enjoy government presence. Addressing a rally at the local government headquarters, Mr. Leke Abejide says all local government areas in the state will be developed as part of efforts to bring governance closer to the people. It is the turn of Mopa Moru local government area of Kogi State to receive the campaign trail of the African Democratic Congress. The campaign trail heads to the palace of the Elulu of Mopa, where the issue of lack of government presence in the area is brought to the fore.
How can you bring out of 21 local government, there's no any other local government that can do it? After spending 8 years, then it has to come back to that local government. No, no, no! And I mean this thing. We are going out. There's no way we cannot go. Because we have never collected a dime from him. Leke Abejide, have never spent his 1 naira.
As a legislator, he's not actually supposed to carry out executive activities in terms of projects, but to oversee projects and activities under which committees he functions. But having seen the needs of his community, which has been neglected over time by successful administrations, and with the endowment God has given him and the job he has, they are trying to touch the hearts of many and the community at large.
At the campaign ground, the ADC governorship candidate and his deputy stressed the need for the residents to vote for the ADC despite threats and intimidation.
You know the work our candidate has been doing in your constituency. This is the work that will be expanded when you vote for him. And the vote we are looking for here is 100%. And I know you can do it. Am I right? Are you going to do it?
As the African Democratic Congress continues its statewide campaign, the party prides itself as the best alternative to the ruling All Progressives Congress. And away from politics, the 2.17 trillion naira 2023 supplementary budget submitted to the National Assembly has scaled a second reading in both chambers of the legislature. President Bola Tinubu also submitted the 2024-2026 medium-term expenditure framework, that's the MTEF, to the National Assembly for consideration. In a letter to the lawmakers, President Tinubu explained that the supplementary budget became necessary for additional palliative measures, including wage awards. And that's it from the nation's capital. It's back to Millicent with the rest of the news at 10 in Lagos.
Thank you, Victor. And to some more stories. How to coordinate trading and manufacturing activities on a regional and interstate level to enhance economic growth formed the main thrust of discourse at the 62nd Leader Without Title Colloquium series in Lagos today. The event is a brainchild of the Center for Values in Leadership. It was also an opportunity to recognize and honor the group chairman of the Odua Investment Limited, Bimbo Ashiru, for his outstanding contributions in Nigeria's commerce and industry sector.
This forum is bringing together major players and high-profile personalities from different sectors of the country for the 62nd edition of the CVL LWT Leadership Tribute Series. President of the LCCI, Dr. Michael Olawale Cole, who chairs the event, speaks on the theme, with other speakers identifying the challenges and solutions to interstate commerce.
The theme for today's colloquium is interstate commerce and economic growth. And it is carefully chosen to honor individuals who have not only achieved remarkable successes in their very respective fields, but also have left indelible legacies and made substantial contributions to our great nation.
As part of the tradition of the colloquium, Group Chairman of Odua Investment Company Limited, Otumba Bimbo Ashiru, is recognized.
I have known the honoree of today for many decades. He is a great achiever. He is an icon. He's a man of integrity. A man who has touched many lives in many positive ways.
He's the innovator of ease of doing business. We started in Ogun State before Nigeria took it up. And even today, ease of business is a message that the government is trying to sell to the whole world. And he has a lot to offer Nigeria.
While expressing gratitude, the award recipient urges Nigerians to exercise patience over the economic reforms of President Bola Tinubu.
The president is from the private sector, and I think most of the steps that are being put in place, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. But the point is that it's not something that will happen immediately. The pains will be there, but we need to endure it. I'm sure by the first quarter and second quarter of next year, things will start unfolding.
The Center for Values in Leadership says it will continue to pay tribute to change agents such as Otumba Bimbo Ashiru, who are making unwavering sacrifices to develop various sectors of the country.
The Nigeria gaming and betting industry has been identified as a key contributor to job creation and economic development, but the lack of effective regulation is seen as a hindrance towards unlocking the potentials of the industry. At the International Gaming Conference organized by the National Lottery Regulatory Commission in Lagos, the conference highlights the need to harness appropriate technology to leverage the industry to promote good governance. It's the second biennial National Gaming Conference, with key industry players from within and outside the country, government representatives, regulatory bodies, among other stakeholders in attendance.
Nigeria's gaming industry is worth an estimated $70 billion as at 20.
The focus here is to explore and embrace the potentials of the gaming industry, which is believed to be key to Nigeria's economic diversification drive.
The need to constantly adapt and evolve in this dynamic environment is crucial for the industry and our nation. We endeavor to unearth the strategies for success that resonate with the dynamic gaming landscape.
Going by population size, Nigeria is set to have the largest betting market in Africa, with revenue from online sports betting alone projected to reach over $250 million by the end of 2023. While this may sound good, speakers are concerned about revenue leakage, potential exploitation, and the need for effective regulation.
I'll suggest that our industry should leverage data analytics and artificial intelligence to harness, detect, and prevent fraudulent activities such as match fixing or cheating in online games. With the growth of online gaming and betting, there is a significant opportunity to increase tax revenues for our nation.
When you don't win the lottery, your money supports national development. So it is not all in all a loss. You win, you lose, and you win on the other side. I would implore the NLRC to examine and continue to institute this practice in your operations.
The conference is considered timely, considering President Bola Tinubu's agenda for economic development.
The federal government will do all within its statutory powers to ensure that the gaming industry remain on the steady path of sustainable growth and development.
The presentations will form the basis for further deliberations during the two-day conference that also features the exhibition of various gaming and betting companies. Participants expect a thriving and secure gaming and betting industry that not only entertains but also contributes significantly to Nigeria's economic growth and well-being. And business news is next. Here's Anne Waldo.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial star 894 hash now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Millicent. Hello and welcome to Business News. We begin with the Central Bank of Nigeria saying it has no plans to restructure or redenominate the local currency, the Naira, from January 2024. This clarification by the financial market regulator, which is an issued statement on its website, counters some reports which suggest that the CBN plans to do so while considering some reforms. The Apex Bank explains that the alleged report was merely a modification from an old policy move by a previous CBN governor in 2007 and was made to appear recently. Meanwhile, the CBN says that any reform on the agenda will conform with the provisions of the 2007 Act and advise the public to disregard such publications. The Lagos State government has signed an investment partnership with the African Export-Import Bank, Afreximbank, and Access Bank for a $1.35 billion infrastructure project and food security funding in the state. This deal was carried out on the sidelines of the ongoing Afro-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum 2023 in Guyana. But the governor mentioned some key projects, including Fourth Mainland Bridge, Omo Creek project, and the second phase of the LRMT Blue Line from Maltu. to Okokomaiko. On its part, Afrexim Bank said it will provide the equivalent of the fund in Nigerian currency to help fund key trade-enabling projects and promote industrialization and export manufacturing. The Senate has confirmed the nomination of Zach Adedeji as the new chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, the FIRS, and that's after undergoing a screening process. This comes after lawmakers raised concerns that the credit schemes and tax waivers by the FIRS had been abused, resulting in the loss of billions of naira in revenue. He has assured people that the FIRS will take necessary steps to address the issue and ensure the country's tax revenues are improved. And we head to the stock market now, where trading session ended today, the last day of October, with impressive gains. Let's hear the details from Laddie Williams.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Well, the bulls remain firmly in control of the local bourse as the all-share index maintains a positive momentum. Bigger move than what we had yesterday, 1.65%. And we see the all-share index, new level, 69,000. Wow, 70K looks really close at this point. Market cap, 38 trillion. Let's look at the market mover now. Big move there, again about 140 naira, 10% move up there. Airtel Africa, 1,540 naira to close, and that's what's pushed the market up. Let's look at the top trades now. We see Zenith Bank, UBA, GTCO, all financial services topping the trades there by value. See UBA, 688 million naira there was stocks traded. And again, a widely positive market breadth with 40 stocks posting gains while 25 stocks decline. So that's how your money performed today. I'm Laddie Williams.
And let's check out other closing numbers and how they ended today after the trading session. While we do, the rest of the news at 10 continues now with Millicent.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial star 894 hash now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thanks, Anne. And to around the world in 5, Israel's military has confirmed that its jets carried out the attack on the Jabalia refugee camp in Gaza. Here's Simon Pusey with other international stories.
Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Israel says a fierce fighting is taking place within Gaza as its ground offensive in the area continues. Bodies are reportedly piling up in the streets, with multiple funerals being held daily as airstrikes continue. Israel's military said it struck more than 600 militant targets in recent days. But innocent Palestinians are being caught up too. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says more than 8,500 people have been killed since Israel's retaliatory bombing began. Israel says they are targeting Hamas. Here, a video released by the Israeli Defense Forces showing the destruction of the house of one of the group's leaders. But as the humanitarian situation worsens, the UN is continuing to call for an opening of the Kerem Shalom crossing to deliver aid to Gaza.
More than one entry point into Gaza is indispensable if we are to make a difference. Kerem Shalom between Israel and Gaza is the only crossing equipped to rapidly process a sufficiently large number of trucks.
French counter-terrorism police have shot an unarmed woman reportedly threatening passers-by in Paris. The incident took place at the Bibliothèque François Mitterrand train station. The woman, who was wearing a full veil, reportedly threatened to blow herself up and was heard shouting Allahu Akbar. When she refused to comply with police orders, they opened fire 8 times. She is said to be critical but stable after being shot in the abdomen. An off-duty pilot who's accused of attempting to turn off the engines of a jet mid-flight has pleaded not guilty in court.
Line 2, Emerson versus Joseph.
In his first court appearance, Joseph Emerson entered a not guilty plea to state charges through his defense attorney as he looked on from behind the court's glass partition. Federal prosecutors accuse him of trying to shut off the engines of an Alaska Airlines flight over the Pacific Northwest. He told an officer that he had taken psychedelic mushrooms for the first time and believed he was having a nervous breakdown. 2 people have been killed and scores injured after clashes erupted in Bangladesh between anti-government protesters and police on the first day of a 3-day protest to push for the resignation of the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. The main opposition, Bangladesh Nationalist Party, called for a 3-day blockade of roads in response to clashes between party supporters and police, in which 1 policeman was killed and more than 100 people were injured. The party has been calling on Hasina to resign to allow elections scheduled for January to be held under a neutral caretaker government. The cast of Friends have said they are utterly devastated by the loss of their fellow star, Matthew Perry, who died on Saturday at the age of 54. In a joint statement, Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Matt LeBlanc, David Schwimmer and Lisa Kudrow said it was an unfathomable loss. The Friends actor was reportedly found unresponsive in a hot tub at his Los Angeles home. Perry's post-mortem examination was inconclusive. Officials are awaiting the results of toxicology tests. And King Charles and Queen Camilla have arrived in Kenya on a 4-day trip, the couple's first state visit to a Commonwealth nation. After a ceremonial welcome at State House, the royal couple, along with President William Ruto and his wife Rachel, went to the tomb of the unknown warrior in Uhuru Gardens, where Kenya declared independence in December 1963. More than 10,000 people were killed and others tortured during the brutal suppression of the Mau Mau uprising in the 1950s, one of the British Empire's bloodiest insurgencies. Buckingham Palace said the visit would acknowledge the more painful aspects of the UK and Kenya's shared history, and that His Majesty will take time to deepen his understanding of the wrongs suffered in this period by the people of Kenya. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.
Thank you, Simon. Welcome to Sports News. 9-time African champions, the Super Falcons of Nigeria, have extended, or rather advanced to the next round of qualifiers for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, where they will face arch rivals, the indomitable Lionettes of Cameroon. A brace from Rasheedat Ajibade and a goal each from Uchenna Kanu and Asisat Oshoala earned Nigeria a 4-0 win over Ethiopia at the MK Abiola Stadium this evening. They advanced on a 5-1 goal aggregate, and of course, Cameroon beat Uganda 3-0 to progress on a 3-2 goal aggregate. Inter Miami players celebrated with Lionel Messi as the Argentine was welcomed back after collecting his 8th Ballon d'Or trophy the night before, that is on Monday in Paris. Messi won our record-extending 8th Ballon d'Or for the best player in the world, beating Norway's UEFA Player of the Year and treble winner Erling Haaland of Manchester City to the prestigious prize. The 36-year-old is now 3 Ballon d'Or clear of rival Cristiano Ronaldo, who won the last of his 5 trophies in 2017. Australia has decided against bidding for the 2034 FIFA Men's Football World Cup, paving the way for Saudi Arabia to host the event. Football Australia pulled its bid on October 31st deadline after the Asian Football Confederation threw its weight behind Saudi Arabia, which is the hot favorite to land the event. FIFA has invited bids from the Asian and Oceania regions for the rotating World Cup hosting right after naming Morocco, Spain and Portugal as joint hosts for 2030. And of course, Alexander Zverev beat qualifier Martin Forsovich in 3 sets earlier today at the Paris Masters. The German 10th seed came back from 1 set down to beat Hungarian Forsovich 646-7564 in the round of 64 at Bercy Arena. That's it on sports. It's back to you, Millicent.
Thank you, Chris. And the main news again. The Nigeria Police Council today confirmed the Acting Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, as the substantive IGP. President Bola Tinubu, who presided over the council meeting at the presidential villa, also seized the opportunity to wade into the political crisis in Rivers State. PDP Governors Forum asked parties in the political crisis in Rivers State to resolve their differences peacefully, just as the party commended President Bola Tinubu for his quick intervention in the matter. The Court of Appeal has reversed the sack of the APC candidate Timipre Silva in the November 11th governorship election in Bayelsa State. The court said the judgment of the Federal High Court was based on a wrong premise. And Israel said fierce fighting was taking place within Gaza as its ground offensive in the area continued. That's the news at 10 tonight. Many thanks for watching. I'm Millicent Walker. Have a good night and stay safe.